I'll just give you a quick overview on how I work before I go into the model. Huh? So I find working with people, I find it very important to go under the surface. There's a lot of training going on, you know, like listening skills and team building skills and the whole thing. And there's so much out there, and I think that's just really surface stuff. And I really differentiate myself by saying, guys, what are your problems? What's not working? And then we look at how that can be transformed on a deeper level. So I always work with what is not said in the organization, what is, you know, what is not talked about. And I always also look at the emotions that hover in the room. And also another part that's really important is the values. What values is this company or you know business running on? And with those values, usually those values also create a lot of the emotions that are sort of, you know, interacted on in the organization. For example, large companies' values, if they're not guarded as the company grows, they can go out of the window, and then especially when a company floats, and all the focus is then on the bottom line, which is the first chakra, you know, then the rest of everything goes out of the window, and then stress happens, and games happen in organizations, and you're in a workplace where you go to, like, you know, from morning till afternoon, but you always look forward to the weekends, and you often wonder why you're there, you know. So, and that's a big problem. And unfortunately, often these companies, you know, they're so much in the rut. They then ask for training and for more effectiveness, and that's all the superficial level. So I think in terms of looking at values and also on going back to the culture of the company, like how did it start, what was the intention initially, and what is carried through, that's really important, you know, and what has not been carried through, what of it is ineffective or unhealthy, what of that is really healthy, and how can we enhance that, but again on a level where we look holistically, where we look at how does that enhance the human in the organization as well, you know, the values they give to the clients, the values they give to their people, and so forth.
Which is working in a transpersonal.
That's
sense,
right.
Which is going beyond the personal.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And I find I like working with, you know, not that large companies, so small to medium-sized companies, because that's where you can work really on all levels. That's where, you know, the owner or the directors, when they call in, say, okay, what can we do, so that they are open-minded as well, and look at what can we change. You know, how did we contribute to ineffectiveness if it's there, or how can we contribute to more happiness or more effectiveness, you know, that is there. So on all those levels, and the way I normally then work is with you know, with the directors or the CEOs. I do either one-on-one coaching, or, you know, sometimes 2-3, depending on who's sitting on the top of the ladder, so to speak. Coaching, and then going through process as well, and sometimes even through a very personal process, you know, because the personal totally overlaps with the organizational. Really, there's so not a separation, even though they try very hard to pretend it is, but it isn't. So, and that's a kind of almost can go to a kind of soul searching, you know, where they look at what is lost in me, or what, you know, what am I unhappy with, where are my frustrations, where's my pains, And you can then also see that it goes into their personal relationships as well. If there's problems in the organization, there's often also problems at home. You know, it's often, not always, but it happens. You know, and there's stresses on those levels. So that's where we work intensively on the individuals. And then in team levels, then first we really assess, you know, what needs changing in the organization, what needs changing in us, the CEOs, and some just ask, okay, can you help our teams develop more awareness? So that's the first level, awareness, understanding what's going on, what kind of emotional, psychological games are happening. You know, what's like the bitching, the gossiping, the splitting, backstabbing. So what's going on there? And then also looking at, okay, if that is caused, how is that caused by the head of the organization? Are they not able to hold the team in a healthy way? Are they not able to support them? Or is there a lack of communication that they feel safe? So all these things go in there as well. So that's what we look into, and then we look at, okay, what kind of training is really more suitable or effective. Yeah.